Good morning, guys. Sean with the Hound. Hope everyone's doing well. All right, so I wanted to make it perfectly clear the expectations that kind of surrounds selling errors and varieties. Now, I talk about it quite extensively on my Pocket Change Market Report. A lot of you have to realize that the marketability for a lot of what we call some of these minor errors and varieties, kind of like the stuff that is generally online popular, if that makes any sense, needs to be moved and sold online because that's where you're going to have your biggest audience. I had one person I had talked to through my consultation services that had just an enormous amount of some of the coins, and he kept referring to me like, you said I need to look for this, you said. So he kept putting the onus on me as far as type of some of the things that needed to be said. But however, this next little twist to this tale is gonna, I heard it, I'm like, man, that sucks. Because I would have never in my wildest imagination allowed this to be my number one choice, but he probably had maybe 1,000 coins. They're all packaged up in the cardboard 2x2 holders, all coins that he had found going through bankrolls, going through change. He's picked up a few items here and there, and he is interested in selling and moving some of these items. So what did he do? He ended up going to every conceivable coin dealer. He went to every big show, from the Florida Fun Show to a few of the other big ones, and he was trying to sell a lot of what we call the online popular errors and varieties to these shows, and no one would buy them. Okay, and I've said this, I've talked about this to no end. All right, coin dealers by nature will not give a care about a lot of these, die chips, die breaks, the crown die chip on like that Washington crossing the Delaware quarter. They do not 0% care about any of this stuff. All right. These are all coins that have marketability online. So we need to kind of discuss the I guess the bar. You guys heard that phrase before. You guys set the bar. Okay, where's the bar set when it comes to a lot of these coins? All right, and a lot of what sets the bar has to do with the photography that is taken, and ultimately the description of what you're selling. Like in this particular case right here, and by the way, I put die chip error just to kind of keep it, simple. The KISS method. 2021P crowned die chip error Washington crossing the Delaware quarter. All right, it has all of the main feature keywords of the coin that is being sold that someone in some aspect will type. If someone's interested in a crown die chip, more than likely they're going to type in the date, crown, quarter. Those are sorry, I spelled that wrong. Quarter. So that's going to be in no short of it, kind of like how someone would identify a specific coin that they're looking to prospectively buy. All right. So we have to think more of the minds of the buyers and less about being a seller, because that's where we could get trapped sometimes. And if you're able to kind of master the manipulation of keywords, all right, you could really be successful doing this. But it's more than just assembling the right kind of keywords. You could throw up some verbal vomit on these things and do really well. But half of the battle is going to be the photography, ladies and gentlemen. Because if you look at crown die chip, or not so much crown die chip, but die chip error in general, you can see that there are 5,500 plus results for die chip error. All right, so obviously you need to do something that's going to make your listing stand out above the rest. So let's go ahead and examine a few of these particular listings. And then you guys tell me what particular, listing pops out to you as it will me. All right, so as we're kind of scrolling down, one thing that I like to look at when it comes to errors and varieties is we need some pretty nice extreme close-ups. Sometimes you're going to have to utilize the good old microscope. In order to get in close enough, you're going to have to utilize a 40x, 50x power for, I guess, microscopic focus on these things in order to get the best picture. All right. So right off the top, I mean, if I'm going to be spending $150 on an item, I mean, the pictures better be damn good. In this case, pictures are not good at all. I want a close-up of that crown die chip as the mainline featured subject photo of the coin. All right, I don't want this poorly cropped quarter image on there. All right, we have to take that bar that is normally set very low and we have to elevate it to the next level. All right, so we're gonna scroll down, image too small in spite of the fact that it's in a 2x2 flip. No close up. I mean, there's a die chip. I want to know where the die chip is. Okay, so make it the front line, front and center thing. First one I did like was this one here. Minnesota Voyagers quarter die chip error. It's quite minor. Not even sure if this person's going to get the $2.50 for something like this, but you guys have to realize there are some errors that have a very minimal amount of value. And then we're going to have to kind of circle back as to why coin dealers will not touch stuff like this. It's too minor. It's too much work with no guaranteed returns whatsoever. These are the type of coins that I generally put up for about $5.99 shipped as a buy it now listing. And then it's going to sit in my store till someone is truly genuinely interested in buying that item. So we have to kind of like pull our expectations out aside a little bit, realize that some of these items don't have a quick sell rate. There are things that are going to be sitting in your store for 3 months, 6 months, a year. I currently have stuff in my store right now that I refuse to budge on price because they're priced appropriately to the market that I've had in my store for over 2 years. And I'm okay with that because those are the type of what I call supplemental items that I add to my store that'll sell anytime. All right. I actually had an item that I've had in my store for over a year that finally sold. But you have to, ladies and gentlemen, have this clear kind of realistic expectation of what you want out of this. Do not get into this if all you care about is the quick flip, the quick money, because that really in reality does not exist the way you intend or want it to, especially if you don't put in the work. If you don't put in the work, you will ultimately fail at it, or either that or you're just going to end up quitting the hobby. But, you know, if all you care about is money, it's probably not a hobby to you in the beginning. So as we're going through these, okay, again, I have to be hooked to something that is going to pull me in. Now, I love these close-ups. Granted, that's a picture of a screen of a microscope, but that works just the same. The picture is great. Look at that, $2.61. Buy it now. They really don't care if this thing sells today or 2 weeks from now. They have it as a buy it now. It's appropriately priced because these things have dropped like a rock, like on the proverbial wing. There's a rock on the wing. But no, I mean, this is a brand new, one of the newer, I guess, not considered brand new because it's been out for a few months, the Bessie Coleman die chip on the old plain wing right there. Again, I love these close-ups. You really have to show what you're selling. Here, large nose die chip. These things are actually selling really well. You know, they're selling for between 10 and 20 bucks. They're easy money. As you can see, there's 3 bids on this one with just over 2 days remaining. Get in close, ladies and gentlemen. Show what you want to sell. Don't show the whole coin. You're not selling the whole coin. You're selling a feature of that coin. Show the features, not the whole product. All right. The whole product sometimes cannot sell itself. There are specific features that sets it above the rest in the marketplace. So again, keep that in mind. Nice, crisp, clear photos. And by the way, you can take a lot of these close-up photos with the last like 4 generations of iPhone. Plus, in addition, there is a microscope app that you can download onto your Apple or Android device. Okay, that works just the same. Just make sure you're using good good lighting when you're taking your photos with that app. But again, you know, the higher the price, you have to step up the photo game a little bit more. And if you're able to do that, then you're going to have a much better chance at selling your coins above everybody else. Keeping in mind, your coin to you might be unique, but in reality, there might be 20, 30, 40 other ones available for sale online. Again, you got to set yourself apart from the rest of the group and bring it on home. Even things like this, $95. Okay, that's a lot of money. Best offer, but it shows a nice close up of the die chip. The person even circled it in red. That draws my eye in. Okay, and sure, I might criticize it as being way too expensive for what it actually is. That's a coin that's probably worth less than $5. All right. It's quite minor, and we have to realize that die chips on a lot of coins is quite common. All right, even things that are small as that are connecting two letters. I've seen that quite a few times. So as you can see, the bar is set really low, but you really have to elevate yourself to the next level. You have to get at least to the midway point of that bar and higher in order to stand a chance to sell these things. Okay, but ultimately, on something like this, on these type of coins, you have to sell it online. You cannot take these to the coin shop. They will not pay anything for it. They will tell you to go just deposit it into the bank, and then you're gonna end up hating your your YouTube content creator because they told you to keep an eye out for it. All the while that person, me, is showing you that all these coins are selling online. I'm not giving you a pocket change market report dealer edition. That never exists. It will never exist because there is no such thing as such. So I want you guys to keep in mind that type of market. All right, same with repunch mint marks. Again, it's all about the close-ups. Repunch mint marks, and in most cases, there are double dies that are not recognized in the cherry pickers guide. So these are your standard Dr. Wiles, James Wexler varieties, things like that. Stuff that typically starts with a W or a V. These have a home online, okay? And they need to be treated as such. But again, with RPMs, same verse as the first. It doesn't matter how you do it. You need some close-ups. All right, like in this particular case, this 1952 D over D. You have to, again, play into the keywords that people look for. RPM is a famous keyword. Lincoln cent. The date. You don't even need to put the mint mark in there because it's going to show all the RPMs for that particular coin. RPM number 7 or 009 or 001, FS501. You got to put in all of the straight up vernacular that people normally would type if you do have the coin. Again, it's a great mix of that mainline listing title and photography. Now, in this particular case, this is actually a pretty smart move. This person actually used attribution pages from some sort of variety book, okay, whether it's a cherry picker's guide, a strike it rich with pocket change guide, and they used it for their gain here, and it works out perfectly. And as long as you have like all the information of what RPM it is, RPM number 7 in this case, then it works just the same. But ideally, what I want to see is like super nice close-ups like this 1938 D Buffalo Nickel. And it's an RPM number 4 because it looks exactly like the coin that's in the attribution websites, like Variety Vista, DoubleToDie.com, and things like that. So again, RPMs, Brian Rybar, you guys can certainly take a little bit of a lesson from him. He does the best. Okay, these are some of the best photography for close-ups that you could ever imagine. He does it well, and I'm sure he has a pretty nice like studio lighting setup and all that great stuff. So again, the importance of this is get in close, because if you're trying to sell an uncirculated 1955 D over D South RPM number 2, sure, I mean, you have all of the great keywords in there, but this is your photo. Come on now. Let's step it up a notch. Pretend like you care about making this into a little bit of a business or a side venture. And, that's where the importance is going to be in your long-term success or your short-term success. And this is for some of you out there that sees this as just kind of a quick money grab, which I don't, because I have the education behind it. My education births a lot of success when it comes to selling my coins. It's not the other way around. So make sure you guys realize that. But, close-ups, the best that you can, is going to be the best kind of like way to go here. And then finally, double the dies. I mean, good old double the dies have a tremendous market, all right? Get in close. Again, nice close-up images of the double the dies, like this guy right here. While it's not a close-up, takes some of the crispest photos that you could ever imagine. And he does have close-ups, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you could tell that this is a 1972 FS101. Just take a look at the double to die and you'll know that it is just that. This thing will slap you across the face. It's that strong. You're not going to mistake this for machine doubling or anything else. So again, close-ups are going to be the key. And even if you don't have a close-up leading out the picture as you're kind of scrolling down, at least have the close-ups in the listing. So when someone clicks into the listing and they're looking at your other photos, you're not going to have just an obverse and reverse photo available. You're going to have also close-ups. You're going to have die markers, things like that, the important stuff. So here's 1995 DDO. Obviously, no close-ups, but the pictures are clear enough that when you hover your mouse over the image, that's going to give you the best close-ups of this particular double to die. And make no mistake, it is exactly as advertised. Well done, Mac Vandersteen, who's been around for years. So that's what I wanted to talk about. A little bit of kind of like setting the record straight as far as where these are being sold at. Do I have to really repeat myself, ladies and gentlemen? These coins are being sold online. That's where the market is. These are online specific type of finds. You have to sell them online to make the money, but don't shortcut it there. You have to do the listing title. You have to set a realistic expectation of value. Don't sit there trying to get $100 for a coin that has a general market value of $8. It will never work out that way. And most importantly, those photos. Make sure you're getting in close to the things that matter to the consumer, to the collector. Make sure that it's crisp, clear, and that you're doing a good job doing it. If it's not coming out clear and it looks like you have 20/40 vision or whatever it is, then you might want to kind of go back and make sure, by the way, guys, that you're cleaning off the lens of your camera. People use their smartphones all the time, but they fail to just wipe it with their shirt before they use it. That's to come up with a much clearer image, all right? But again, don't shortcut the process. Do it if you want to be successful. That's all I got to talk about. I'm enough bending your guys' ear. A little bit of a matter of a fact type of video to hit you guys up with. Again, I have my Whatnot auction coming up later this evening. We have, I actually added like 9 or 10 more coins and lots in there. I will talk about it as soon as we go live at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. $1 starting bid on everything. Silver, Morgan dollars. Just amazing stuff. People are going to score deals tonight. Just wait and see. And I can't wait to give stuff away. We have giveaways coming up tonight. So I personally invite you guys down to the platform Whatnot. I will have my links down below in the description box. Also, if you're brand new, you've never signed up for Whatnot, I think it's way better than eBay, to be honest. And we're talking about eBay in this one. So yeah, go ahead and claim your $15 in credit by signing up with my referral links, which will be down below as well. And they will also be pinned in the comments field of this video. So go ahead and check it out. Go ahead and get started with your project of selling some of these amazing coins online. And do it right. And stop traveling 1,000 miles to a coin show, knowing full well that these things will not sell there. That's what I want to talk about. Cheers. Have a great day. Enjoy the hobby. Do I have anything else for you? Yeah. Have fun with the hobby. Treat it as a hobby first, and everything else will follow. Those are some of the wisest words that I could tell someone because it's a hobby first. It can become a business second. There you go. That's all I got for you. Have a good one. Happy hunting. I'll see you next time.